Okay, perfect. So, yeah, so hi everyone, thanks for joining us. We are very excited to have the first Expo West section. We are having so many amazing activations happening. We already have some of our 2 or 3 I think it's 3 retailers confirmed to walk with us around the section to meet up you guys, and we are trying to get more press. So a lot of fun things happening. But today I really want to take the time because I know most of you were first exhibitors. So just to ask all the questions you have regarding setting up the booth or any other questions that you may have around the show. So today's the day for you to, the New Hope team is here and I'll let them introduce themselves, but just really try to get everything out of your way because I know it's a lot of new information, and the exhibitor hub is great, but sometimes I even feel lost just reading everything. So really use the time to don't be shy to ask all your questions. So you can just unmute yourself and ask here or in the chat if you are too shy to talk. But Michelle, if you can introduce yourself and then the team just so they know who are here.
Yeah, great. So hi, everyone. I'm Michelle 𝗏𝗏. I'm the Senior Director of Partnerships here at New Hope, which means I get to work with Patricia and Daniel at Startup CPG and all of you guys, as well as the Adult Non-Alcoholic Beverage Association and our partners with Naturally Network and others. But we are so excited about this first ever Startup CPG section. Daniel and Patricia and I have been talking about this for a while, and it's just great that we were able to make it happen. And so I'll let the other two introduce themselves, and then when we come back before questions, I would love to just kind of talk about how we're promoting your section and get you guys even more excited, and then we'll get into the logistics. So Decker, I'll pass to you.
Yep. So my name is Robert Decker. You'll hear Decker a lot. So I'm the client services manager, kind of generally through New Hope and Global Health and Nutrition, a couple other shows. I don't expect to see too many of you at our engineering shows, but I also help out over there a little bit. And yeah, we're just definitely here to support. And then last on my team is Kari.
Hello, my name is Kari, and I will also be assisting with Expo West. Here to just kind of send all the links that we will be throwing out so you have easy access.
Great. Thanks, you guys. Well, I'll just jump in. As Patricia and I both referenced, this is our first time ever having a Startup CPG section. It is not our first year of having our level 3 hot products, though. We had level 3 hot products long before even the North Hall was even built. And so, many retailers already know of this section. We have had it even, the last couple of years since we've been back from COVID, and we're slowly growing it back into this really robust and exciting pavilion. We will be having coffee served Wednesday through Friday up in this area. We will have happy hours in the afternoon. We'll be marketing your area and the other partners on level 3 through our show map, our attendee brochure, the screen, the back of the Grand Plaza stage. It'll be scrolling with other promotions, but it'll be talking specifically about this section. You'll see Startup CPG logos in different places on signage. We do have something new this year that is for level 3 and the North Hall hot products. You guys all open on Wednesday at noon, and from noon to 1 we have a buyer only hour. So that will mean that anyone that's coming to the show as a service provider or anything else will not have access to come in for that first hour, so that you'll know anybody that's on the show floor during that time period is specifically a buyer. We're really promoting that with our hosted buyers and kind of our VIPs. You will also see floor clings in the area that have the Startup CPG logo, so there will be really no missing your section. Another thing that has nothing to do really with signage, but what you guys can do, and I have no doubt that this will happen, is you guys can promote on social media with your booth number, talk about the startup CPG section. Usually when I see that, I will repost any of the ones that I see and try to engage other people. But make sure to always include your booth number when you are promoting on social. And then also, if you have branded t-shirts or hats or anything else, I would wear that every single day. It helps with packing. You can wear the same type of shirt every single day, but I would be your brand everywhere you go, because you are a free walking billboard of your brand and representation. We always tell our team too that from the time you leave your house, even in a super shuttle to the airport, until the time you get back to your house, somebody that is around you is likely going to be someone that is from Expo West, because people travel from, all different places to come in elevators. It's always kind of awkward when you're standing there quietly, but don't feel shy about making eye contact and saying hello. And if they have a badge, introduce yourself. So the more you put yourself out there, the more that you are going to have success at the show. I also encourage you all to wear very comfortable shoes, because it is long days. You're going to be tired after working in the booth all day, but I encourage you to go to the concerts out on the plaza in the evening, because again, those are great networking. And of course, the startup CPG fun activities that will be happening as well. So that's just kind of some basic overview. I know you guys probably aren't as interested in what I have to say as what Decker and Kari have to say. So I will stop talking and let you guys answer some questions. Patricia, you said you just want them to raise their hand and ask questions. Do you want to take them from the chat? What's the best way to do it this time?
Either way, I mean, if they feel comfortable just asking directly, I think that would be easier.
Great. Don't be shy.
Yeah. Okay, we have one. Michelle, yeah, from Data Battery Snacks.
I was just wondering when we'll be able to set up our booth. Will it be when? Will we have access Tuesday? Sorry.
Gotcha. Yeah, no worries. So let me pull up. It is technically it's different from location to location, but specifically, let's go to the level 3 targeted floor plan, and I can also just include that as a link in the system right there. So I can also just share my screen for the on screen 2. There we go. So if I remember correctly, just kind of looking over the so for the most part, you're all going to be based just around here. So there's a slight
Decker, I can't see your screen. I'm not sure if anyone else can.
No. I clicked the share.
There we go.
It didn't actually share. There we go.
There you go.
So I see startup CPG sections primarily going to be here. If any of you end up being in a different location for any sort of reason, there are kind of slight differences. Oh my gosh, no, it's up here. There we go. Sorry, because it's kind of covering that. There we go. So based on your specific booth location, which for the most part is just around here, you're going to either be able to start moving in at 8 a.m. on Monday or 1 p.m. on Monday. So just a little bit staggered if you are in this kind of lower section, which just a couple of you would be. It's covering that again. But basically, yeah, Monday at 11. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? Monday at 8 a.m. for most of you, and then Monday at 1 p.m. For just a couple of you is going to be the overwhelming majority of that starting move-in time. You can move in Monday, you can move in Tuesday, and you have just the start of the morning on Wednesday to move in, just until I think it's based off of the timing, it's like from 7 to 9 o'clock or so is when you're able to move in on the day of show open.
But we're actually exhibiting Wednesday. I thought that our halls don't open until Thursday. Did I make a mistake?
So for the main halls is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And the ACC level 3 and also the North halls, that is going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So the exhibition does start on Wednesday, unless I'm totally backwards for some reason.
This map is not up to date because it's showing the startup CPG in the wrong section. So
Oh, okay,
just
gotcha.
FYI, they are not over there. But Michelle,
Yeah.
for your question, you guys are in the startup CPG section. And so you are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Everyone in the startup CPG section is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
So we won't be doing Saturday at all.
You can still stay, but you will not be exhibiting on Saturday.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can put the booth down Friday when the show is done, or Saturday.
Yeah, so because of the level 3 section right here, there's this little section here. The actual move out time is specifically Friday evening from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. There is not technically a move out time. It'll be prioritized for all the move out kind of logistics, so that everything should be picked up by 10 p.m. on Friday evening.
And just to clarify, the reason why you can't be tearing down on Saturday is because the show is still going on for the lower level ACC, and the meeting rooms, retailer meeting rooms, are also still being utilized. And so we don't want like the sound of tape and boxes and things being moved around when retailers are trying to have meetings in those meeting rooms nearby.
Thanks for clarifying. Yeah, because I know that last year I was in the North Hall, so then Saturday was fine. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mauricio? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Kai, can you just raise your hand? So I'm going in order of people that's raising the hand.
Thanks, Patty. Yeah, moving in question as well. I'm assuming we would all have to bring our own dollies or something to kind of move and transfer. And then is the assumption that everyone's going to park at the convention garage right next door and kind of bus in? Or I'm not bus in, but, you know, walk your belongings in?
Gotcha. So you kind of specifically brought up your own dolly. So that'll kind of bring up a couple of different options for you. Over here, this is the exhibitor service kit, which if you haven't seen it, this is going to be the main source of logistics information. And you can access it via your exhibitor hub, which I think Kari will be able to provide that guide and login for that as well. With that, the exhibitor service kit, there's going to be kind of two main ways to get your stuff to the show floor. There is the self move-in / cartload service. So you're not technically allowed to bring your own dollies. If you needed a dolly specifically, you would need to order that official cartload service from GES. There's kind of a couple specific requirements around hand carry versus cartload. Hand carries, you're able to pretty much just in your own hands carry. So here we go. Hand carries 100 pounds maximum, literally just boxes in your own hands, no charge whatsoever. You can just walk in basically through the front door. With the cartload service, that would be ordered. That's a 600-pound maximum. And that would be, say, boxes and things of that nature. There's a specific marshalling yard address, which is just kind of found through that hand carry section there. Let me just kind of go back. If you need to go over 600 pounds for your booth build, underneath that tab for self move-in, there is shipping and material handling. So there's the shipping labels, the shipping addresses, that's all listed there. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that is going to be where all of that is located directly. Because of the specific location of the level 3 exhibitors, you would need to ship to the advanced warehouse. So you can just, on that level 3 exhibitors, there's just that simple shipping labels and then print. And then let's just pull up an example here. It just has the specific address label. So you would just fill out, say, you know, this is crate 1 of 3, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3, have them attached to all of them. And then this will help direct your product when it's inside the building already.
I have a question.
Yep.
So I'm sorry. Can I ask a question about this?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm Lorenza from Capitana by Lorenza. Nice to meet everyone. I wanted to ask, so if we ship it using those shipping labels, will they direct it to the booth, or do we need to go pick it up somewhere to bring to the booth, or how does it work?
Yep. So what'll happen here, you'll kind of see on the shipping label, there's the exhibiting company name, the name of exhibition, which is level 3 in that case, and then booth number. So you would coordinate shipping through whoever you're choosing. So that could be GES themselves as the general service contractor. They do offer that service, but you can ship through FedEx, UPS, whoever you want. As long as the booth number is filled in properly in this location, this is kind of your shipping label for inside the building. So you would ship to the advanced warehouse specifically, and then that booth number slot is going to take it from the warehouse to your booth space. You would not need to pick that up. That would be an additional fee, or it's kind of a baked in fee of material handling. So you would just be invoiced after the fact. I believe as long as it arrives during this specific time, it's $1.50 per pound of material handling rate to get it basically from the advanced warehouse to your booth space specifically.
Okay, and then after the show, are we able to use that service to ship things from the show back home, or how does it work at the end of the show?
Yeah, so that $1.50 material handling rate, that is for getting your products from the warehouse to your booth and back from the booth to the warehouse. So you would coordinate shipping in, you would coordinate shipping out, but that material handling rate and this basically when you once you finish the show, there will be a bunch of kind of empty stickers basically. So there'll be kind of a reverse shipping label that you would pick up in the convention center, and then you would put that on your crates after you're done filling them up, put them on your pallets, whatever you're specifically shipping with. And then they would be able to just deliver them back to the warehouse where it would then be picked up by your carrier of choice.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Jessica?
Yes, I have many questions. So I think I saw on that sheet, do we also need to sign up for electrical too, just like a basic outlet, nothing fancy?
Let's see here. Yes. So unless that was a specific inclusion, which I can't see, but sorry, it's kind of hiding itself up.
It is not an inclusion. The booth space is raw space. So while he's looking for that form, you will need to rent any furnishings that you need, or order outlets, and you'll order those directly, which he'll show you now.
Yep. So yeah, electrical outlet and labor. So electrical outlet, that's going to be something you would just order if you just need an outlet placed in the back of your booth. It doesn't exactly matter where it goes. Electrical labor, you would need to order if, say you specifically needed the outlet to be a certain wattage in a certain location, and you need to kind of draw a map of where certain electrical plugs need to go. That's where you would order electrical labor specifically there. As Michelle kind of mentioned, I've talked a lot about shipping and self-move-in, but you can have a successful event just through booth furnishings rental. So on this tab here, you'd be able to order chairs, seating, tables, counters, lighting, graphics, exhibit systems, or kind of more complex builds to some degree, but that can also be ordered directly. And yeah, electrical would if you need electrical, that would need to be ordered. Another common utility question I get a lot is Wi-Fi. So we do offer like hotspot orderings under the additional show services tab. I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're planning on doing something like streaming or gaming, I suppose, because it's going to be, there will be free Wi-Fi in the convention center. It'll definitely be good enough for sending emails, but it might be a little spotty here and there. But if you need a dedicated line, then I would recommend ordering that under that additional show services for internet, telephone, cable TV.
Got it. And so I have two more questions to kind of go along with all of this. So if we fill out the form to get like a cartload, will they tell us when everything is at our booth so we can be at our booth to set it up? Or how does that work? Like, is there certain drop-off time or?
Yeah, so cartload here, I'll go back and see, is it in here? No, it's over here. Let's kind of open this up again here. So for the cartload service, that's all kind of laid out in this section right here. So there is a marshaling yard basically where you would just go to check in, you would just be kind of put in a line basically. And then they would say, next car up, you are good to go to the specific dock for your section. It's kind of hard to explain in that I can't like right away tell you where you're going to be. It does depend on your specific location and everything like that. But that marshaling yard address, they will take you there and then they will direct you to the specific location where essentially what will happen is you'll check in. Once you're at that location, you would be basically you would want to have two people in the vehicle. One person would go with the product. So actually go with the GES laborer to direct that product to your booth space. And then the other person would be with the car and they would drive away effectively is the kind of process there. So that is very specifically directed. You don't need any additional labels or anything like that.
Got it. Okay. And then my last question is, and how many people are we allowed to have per booth?
Yeah. So with that, I think kind of looking over here.
I can answer that.
Yeah.
You want me to answer for you? Yeah. You all have 6 badges with your 8x10 booths.
Got it. And can you swap people in and out day to day or no?
You cannot.
Got it.
The badges
okay.
are for full show.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You have six
Oh,
badges, but counting as the owner of the booth, so you can have total people. 7 total people at your booth.
Correct. So the primary and then 6.
Yep.
Is that still correct, Robert?
Awesome.
Yes, that is still correct.
Just still correct. And keep in mind that you will be asked to show ID to get into the campus. So not necessarily just into the building. We'll have the campus sectioned off, and you will be asked to show IDs every time you come in and out of the campus. So you'll want to always have your ID and make sure that it matches your badge and that you're not trying to wear someone else's badge or pass your badge to someone else because they will be ID'd. That's for everyone's safety.
And then since we are talking about the booth, we in this area and the North Hall, we are obligated to have carpet, right? So you can either bring your own carpet or hire from GES. Am I right, Robert?
Yep, that is exactly correct. So kind of back on the exhibitor service kit, this first link of exhibitor important information, this goes over some of the specific rules and regulations. So right here, what is included what is included is the booth space, 8-foot tall back drape and 3-foot tall side drape. All booths do require carpet and flooring in the ACC level 3 section. And that would either need to be provided you could have that shipped in or you could order it directly from GES. If you were to ship that in yourself, it would need to specifically be that exact 8-foot by 10-foot space. You can't kind of get away with a half of a booth of carpet. It would need to cover the entire floor specifically.
I have a question.
Can we, we are just going in order of the raise the hand.
No, I couldn't find the raise the hand, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. If you go to reactions. Yeah, sorry about that. Just Kay is waiting for a little while. Sorry, Kay.
No worries. I'm Kai, the other Kai in this group. I have a few questions. Some of them have been answered already. To follow up on handcart service, I remember on the exhibitor hub or the webpage, there was a mention of there only being 1 handcart service per booth. So does that mean that we can only use it once, or how does it work?
Yes, so technically it is that you're only able to use the hand cart service one time. So everything would need to be, so yeah, there are a couple specific requirements. Must have 2 people. The product must be kind of loose. It can't be like a crate. It would need to be just say boxes. The total weight must be less than 600 pounds. Anything that exceeds that 600 pound would be charged at that kind of $1.50 per pound. So I haven't shown the pricing for the cartload. It's about $100 if I remember correctly.
$99,
So
yeah.
$99. So like $100 for 600 pounds is substantially cheaper than that $1.50 per 600 pounds. That's
Right.
$900 to $100 there. So as much as you can have on the cartload will definitely save quite a bit of money. But it is going to be just, first come, first serve. And it would be just a single 20-minute time to unload specifically.
So my follow-up question to that, is that like a single run per day? Is it, because I remember that the hand cart service is one way. So let's say you had to move stuff out like on the last day, right? Wouldn't that be another instance of a cartload service?
Yes, so that would be, you would get there'd be the ability for one cartload service in and one cartload service out.
I see. So we couldn't do a cartload service per day. So let's say, all our samples, and we're beverages, so it's kind of heavy, right? And sort of putting, shipping all of our beverage samples in advance, we wouldn't be able to cartload service each day the number of samples that we plan on distributing that day.
Gotcha. Technically, no. You would be able to, with those kind of smaller amounts, you are kind of able to hand carry in each morning.
Right.
However, the cartload service itself, that would not be able to be something that you could do each day, especially during the show days specifically. That does kind of bring me to another point. Here we go. Let me go back to the GS site here. I think it's that one. Yes. With that, there is kind of a storage section that you can do. So if you specifically, if I go to that shipping label, if you specifically needed, say, refrigerated or frozen storage, there would be a different address label that you would affix to your product, and you could ship it in to a specific direct address, and then you'd be able to order storage and deliveries from the storage location directly. That would be found kind of within this refrigerated and frozen storage section has that ordering side of things.
Okay, so just to triple confirm, you're saying that we can technically get 2 trips, so 2 cartload services for $198 for one move in and one move out if we needed to move out.
Yep. That's exactly correct.
Okay. All right. That's sad. But my next question is, let's say, are we allowed to have loose ice in, let's say, coolers to keep our beverages chilled while during the show?
Yep, that is completely allowed. One thing, let me see. You can order that directly from the official caterer. Again, that'll be under that additional show services. You can pre-order that, but you also can order it directly on site. Let me pull up. No, it's not this one. It's Target Plan. On here, you're able to see. Let's see, where is it? I think it's going to be right around. I don't know where it is specifically on the ACC level 3, but there will be a kind of ice station where you're able to, it should be maybe around there, kind of by the info desk. There will be an ice station very close to the kind of main part of the ACC level 3 where you'd be able to purchase ice directly.
How do they handle the cleanup of that ice? So melted ice and drainage. Like, do we have to hire labor to do that, or is there like a central point where we can, go drain?
So you can hire labor, but there is, this dishwashing station.
Okay.
So you're all going to be just about here. So it's kind of in the back corner over here is the dishwashing sink for you. That's where you'd be able to do that drainage. You can order, it's called kind of a porter service. That's one of the labor options that you can order. But if you don't want to, you can bring it over to the dishwashing station for empty.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll raise my hand if I have more questions. Thank you.
Mhm.
Decker.
Hi, sorry, I said your name wrong.
Oh, no worries. Love you anyways. Bye-bye.
Susanna?
Hi, thank you. So my question about carpet, we were gonna order, it's like this cushion puzzle pieces that looks like a wood floor. It's not an actual carpet. Is that acceptable?
Yes, that is acceptable as long as it fits that 8 foot by 10 feet. And just as kind of as a reminder, you can see on here it's a little longer one way than the other, but it is 10 feet across and 8 feet deep. That's kind of the orientation that you would be able to do, but it would need to cover that full space.
Perfect. And just, are we set up on Tuesday?
You can set up as early as Monday. You can set up for most of Monday. You can set up all of Tuesday starting at 8 a.m. And then you can set up in just the morning from 7 to 9, 7 to 10 or so on Wednesday. Something this notes, it doesn't have this kind of end time, but as long as you're in the building before 5 p.m., you can stay as long as you need. Basically, our floor managers will come around and say around 4 o'clock and say, ask if you need additional time for setup for today. If you say yes, you can stay as long as you want, really. You can go into the wee hours of the night if you need.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Moni. I hope I'm saying your guy's name right.
Hi. I don't know, somehow my name got cut off. It's Monica. Okay, so my question is also about the floor covering. So we have to have some sort of carpet, or could it be like a those little tiles that you connect together? Like, does it have to be a carpet?
Yeah, that was kind of part of the last question. It doesn't necessarily need to be carpet. It just needs to be flooring that covers the entire space. So it can be kind of the puzzle piece type of flooring. There's also some of the options that GES offers are kind of like a vinyl floor covering. It just needs to cover that full space.
Okay, and then for as far as the booth goes, if you have like a sign like in the backdrop, does it have to be a certain? I think it does have to be 8 feet, or can it be 10 feet high?
Yep. So with that, in terms of those rules and regulations, the kind of basic guidelines for that, I think it's listed in here, but if not, it's listed in a couple other places. It's not listed in this one. That's okay. For the booth rules and regulations, I'll just open that up as well here. Since all of you have 8 by 10 booths, this makes this pretty simple. It's all just going to be this right here, where basically the inline booths, nothing in the front half of the booth can exceed 4 feet tall, and nothing in the back half of the booth can exceed 8 feet 3 inches. So I kind of mentioned the back space is just kind of a drape that is set at 8 feet tall. So just a little bit taller than that. That is the maximum height there. This is just kind of a representation of your maximum allowable cutout of a booth space. But in your case of an 8 by 10, the front 4 feet cannot exceed 4 feet tall, and the back 4 feet cannot exceed 8 feet 3 inches tall.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Dario and Erica.
Hello, yes. I have a question regarding what we are allowed to bring in and out every day. We have probiotic shots, very tiny 2 ounces shot. Ideally, we want to serve them fresh. I was thinking to bring in and out every day a bag size as a carry-on, as a luggage. Are we allowed to do that or not? And we need to find the proper storage refrigerated inside.
Gotcha. So in terms of what you're able to hand carry in every day, let me just kind of go back to that, kind of the second half of that self-move-in part here. Hand carry, you're really able to do like just kind of a box yourself any day through the front door. There really isn't much of a restriction on that. You would not, kind of as someone brought up with the dollies, technically you're not allowed to do anything with wheels going onto the show floor. So it would need to literally be carried unless you are ordering that cartload service, which is only available before the show starts. So it would need to be either specifically carried in hand, or that would need to be that kind of ordered storage with ordered deliveries directly.
So anything we can carry in hand, we can carry, or it can be, or it has to be certain dimension. For example, our banner, it's not like a box size, but we can carry it with hands. It's kind of light, you know.
Yeah, if it's pretty light, the kind of guideline there is 100 pounds maximum. So if you can, I mean, 100 pounds is kind of a lot to carry just by yourself, but that 100-pound maximum is that technical official limit of how much you're allowed to carry in your hands to your booth space a day.
Okay. That sounds good. And one more question: is there any dedicated parking that we can park, or we just have to park at the general parking?
I think this has, so there is right here. We are going to be adding it to the website a little bit more additional information. But personally owned vehicles, POVs, personally owned vehicles may park free at Angel Stadium, and they can return to the booth space for setup. There will be more parking lot kind of information coming out. We just don't have the full setup of that one quite yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Amy?
Hey there. I am curious. I saw on the shipping information, apologies, like really loud in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear the noise from the production area, but I saw that we had to have anything using the shipping labels to arrive between the 15th of February and the 7th. Is that inclusive of refrigerated items as well?
No, so that one is going to be just slightly different. So on that level 3 exhibitors, I'll just click on this main page here. For shipping labels, there are going to be 3 options. For dry goods, that your option is print, advance, freight, shipping label. For refrigerated options, there's a separate direct address, and frozen, there's a direct address. What you'll see here is, in addition to a slightly different location, it has this pink label. You'll also, and pink is for refrigerated product, and if I go to frozen here, it's going to be blue. So at a baseline, it is really important to make sure that you use the right one, because at a glance, someone can see blue, it's going to frozen. If they see blue in the pink section, they know they need to move it. So that would be something that is essential to affix to those cold storage items. And then you'll see, let's see, that for arrival starting Monday, March 11th through Wednesday, March 13th for the cold storage. So it's a much shorter window and has to be direct with these specific labels.
What happens for, let's say, our friends at UPS lose stuff and it doesn't arrive until, for the dry goods, the 8th? I mean, I'm just curious, like what's the protocol there? Obviously we still need it, but
yeah. So for the if it arrives to the advanced warehouse late, I mentioned the material handling rate of $1.50 per pound. So that's just going to be located right here, $1.50 per pound. That is if it arrives within that specific time frame. If it arrives outside of the specific time frame, there is an upcharge of about 30 cents per pound. So that is the late fee, effectively, if it arrives after that advanced warehouse is technically accepting packages.
Got it. And when is just like, again, I think I used to work in crisis communications and management. So I think worst case scenario, what's the drop dead if things are in motion, the last date, even with that upcharge, you could get items delivered to your booth? Like, is it the day before the show? Is it, you know?
I think it would, technically, yeah, the day before the show, they will still accept that. Absolute drop dead, I don't necessarily know. At a minimum, the day before the show, they may accept during the show, but they may charge an extra hidden fee that I don't see. So they may not
start a payment plan. Okay.
Yeah, but definitely before the day before the show is going to be the
that's
last
helpful. I just
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would jump in too. And just one thing to keep in mind is with, several thousand booths and companies, the later it gets there, the harder it is for them to find. And so even if they accept it, it's hard, it takes longer to get to your booth. So sticking to the deadlines as best as you can. Obviously things happen, but as best you can will help get your product there on time. I've been to not only our shows, but others where I've seen people sit with no product for the entire show because once things are really in motion, it's harder to find like smaller packages and everything. So I would try to stick to the deadlines if you can. Just for your own stress.
That's so sad. Jessica?
Yes. So I saw on that little drawing that it says finished furniture for the walls. Can we talk about that? So what does that mean? So we bring in do we need to have walls and
No, so with that, yeah, it is kind of a weird line there, but what it is saying is if you do come with walls, if you come with that specific line is any sidewall must be finished carpentry. So if you were to provide carpentry for your sidewalls, it would not be able to just be kind of exposed plywood on any of the sides. That can be, at least at a minimum, a splinter hazard. But it would need to be finished carpentry if you're providing any sidewalls. If you're not, that is not necessary whatsoever. It's just that we'll definitely see where people will make the inside of their booth look very nice. And then on the other side of the booth, it's just a bunch of nails and wood sticking out, and it's causing kind of a little bit of an issue into their neighbor's booth. So that's why that sidewall must be finished carpentry if you're going with a carpentry sort of route.
Got it. And along with that, I guess then, so if it was like an IKEA bookcase or something, would the back of it have to be covered up so that the neighbors wouldn't be looking at your product, or what would that need to be like?
Technically, no. If it was just kind of see-through, that would be technically allowed. What it is kind of that specific line here of any signage or sidewall facing the neighbor cannot have any identification. So if your product we're not going to enforce that every one of your products needs to be specifically angled 180 degrees away. That would be impossible for a lot of brands. It's more of kind of an advanced sort of full-on logo facing directly away from your booth space. Everything should be generally facing into your booth space
You got
for
it.
that, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Totally understand. I was just like, I want to make sure before I do anything that I'm not bringing the wrong things. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hi.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just still overall a little bit confused. Can you just summarize the options we have? So is it for like shipping products to Expo, are the three options that one, we can just bring the products in ourselves and that has to be hand carry and that's the limitation, and then two, we can ship it to Expo with the advanced shipping and then pay the $1.50 per pound mandatory fee, and then three is the 600 pound option.
Yes, that's pretty much
exactly.
Right? Yeah, it's pretty much exactly correct. So for level 3, you either would have these specific shipping labels. So for cold storage shipping, there is a specific address label for those cold storage shipping. But for anything that would be kind of dry or ambient, you would either need to ship to the advanced warehouse with this specific address label. You could do self-move-in, that is just by your own hands, carry 100 pounds worth of product, or that 1 to 600 pound cartload service is going to be your third option for getting things into the building specifically.
Okay, and then one follow-up question is for the advanced shipping, you have to pay the $1.50 per pound handling to your booth, right?
Yes, that is exactly correct. That covers the kind of warehousing fee, that covers the labor that is delivering your products from the warehouse to your booth, covers the labor of everything after the show from your booth to the warehouse back onto the trucks. That is where that $1.50 rate is coming from.
Cool, thank you.
Any other questions? I know some questions are coming in the chat and we are like trying to answer those too, but anyone else? You sure?
Oh, yeah. Can we talk about sampling?
Sure, yeah, let me see here.
What the regulations are with the hand washing and like if we're gonna be sampling, in my case, like what, I mean, I'm there, like I would hand the snap, the tortilla chip with a salsa to them. So how would that work in terms of regulations with the hand washing and stuff?
Gotcha. So let me see here. So under the regulations and guidelines, you'll see, we've moved it. It's under show information. Food safety and sampling regulations. So this is everything. There's going to be 2 types of sampling. So number 1 is if you're sampling a product that is a closed to the air product. So I think someone mentioned kind of like the energy shots. So that would be just a single vial or sachet that you are not opening. You're just giving to the attendee, and then they expose it to the air by opening it at a later point. That there really aren't any restrictions are. So you can give out full unopened bags, cans, whatever of your product without any issue. If you are going to have your product open to the air at any point before it gets to the attendee, there are a couple specific rules. So bite-sized food samples are limited to 4 ounces or less. Non-alcoholic beverages are limited to 8 ounces or less. Food must be dispensed in single service quantities. So you mentioned kind of something on a tortilla chip. That's pretty much exactly the kind of standard for open sampling. And yeah, that full size product is permitted if given out in the manufacturer sealed original packaging. What is also going to be necessary is a hand washing kit. So I'm just going to kind of scroll down to here. This image of the full kit is that you would need gloves, the hand washing kit, which is going to be soap, paper towels, a bucket to catch water, and a warm water dispenser to actually kind of wash your hands under, hair confinement, and sneeze guard for that. That is all required in addition to those size limitations for sampling. To kind of go into this, we do offer the opportunity to rent the full hand washing kit. I'd recommend against that in most cases. If you can ship that in or bring it in yourself, basically this could just be soap, a 2-gallon bucket from any home improvement type of store, paper towels, and then this could be something like a coffee urn. Basically is how I would kind of describe it to search it up. It just needs to have a flip top sort of water spigot, and it needs to be insulated. So that's going to be really the most kind of economical way to get that. I think it's something like $300 if you want to rent it from GES, and Home Depot buckets $5, soap is $2, paper towels $2, and then this the dispenser could be $20-$30. It'll save you a lot of money, especially if you come back next year and then your $30, $40 purchase has saved you $600 next year, $900 the year after that. Definitely saves you a lot of money there.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Do you guys have any resources for people that can help us design the booth?
Yeah, so what we do have, we go into, so GES is the official general service contractor. They do have this little section here of need a custom booth. So they will have custom booth quotes. That's all an option there. I don't know necessarily how competitive they are. What I do know is, so this need a custom booth, what they also have is exhibitor appointed contractors and third parties. So say you reach out for a custom booth to GES and you're not really satisfied. There are all sorts of exhibitor appointed contractors that do this sort of booth designing thing as well. So you could reach out to them. If you go that route, you just need to fill out these 3 forms, and then your contractor would be able to take on the labor of GES for the duration of the event, is all you would need to do for that.
And I would just throw in another cost saving measure on this as well. There are companies online that you can order like a quick trade show booth that's like a quick pop-up that you and one other person can pop up without any tools. You can reuse it. They usually come in like a little carrying case. I mean, we're a trade show company, but we still we exhibit at 𝐀𝐻 next week. We have one of those that we use, and it's much more economical. And you can reuse it and don't have to pay that cost for someone to use the tools. So I would research that as well.
I also shared in the group that we have some like photos from Expo West and East last year. So you can guys see just how people set their booth up. So get some inspo. And then Daniel just dropped here. We use Brandom to print our backdrop and other materials we use during the show. And they are great. As Michelle was saying, that like we carry our backdrop and other things. Kai, that has no video. Sorry, the guy has no hand raised.
I'm not as handsome as the other Kai. Just quick follow-up. So for the hand washing kit, that's only required for open sampling, right? So if we're sampling like manufacturer sealed bottles, we won't need that. Correct?
Yep, that is exactly correct.
Okay.
It's just it very much is, say you have a can or bottles. If you so much as twist the cap, now you need a hand washing kit.
Right,
but if you
right.
don't
Makes
and
sense.
you hand it over, you don't need the hand washing kit at all.
Yeah, basic sanitation. Thank you.
And we do have a health inspector in Anaheim that I know this is being recorded, so I'll be careful, but we have a health inspector that is he's just very aware of our show because we do have so much sampling, and he definitely scrutinizes things. So when in doubt, get the less expensive hand sanitation kit off of Amazon and have it just in case.
Thank you. Yeah, Daniel dropped a link here in the chat so that he
Yeah,
has
I saw that.
Okay, next Kai.
Okay, yeah, two quick questions. One is related to sampling. So if it's gummies that our manufacturer sent to us in bulk, I have a big bag of gummies, that's fine, right? That's considered manufacturer sealed.
So it does depend I guess I'm kind of thinking, if it's in, I don't have anything like around me that's that's kind of available. So I guess like if it's within the manufacturer sealed package, and say it's one gummy inside of one shrink wrap package or something like that, and you just hand that without ever opening, tearing the package whatsoever, that is considered closed sampling. If it's, say, from a bulk bin, if you have hundreds of gummies just in a bag and you have a shovel or something like that, that is going to be considered open sampling. So it would very much need to be that the product would at no point before even handing to the attendee have ever seen the light of day. It needs to be fully sealed Otherwise, you would need that hand washing kit.
Okay. And then the second question is, I just realized on the website that was sent, the main website you have been using, there's like submit required forms. It's a bunch of forms. Are those?
Yes.
Would someone be reaching out to us if we missed one of these checklists?
So actually, I think today I may have
okay.
sent the primary contact the mandatory booth approval form. So I've reached out about that one specifically. A lot of these ones, so the mandatory fire certificate, it says mandatory. It's mandatory if you have a couple of specific things that would be on that fire certificate. So if I open this up, certain things like faux plants, straw, moss, obviously flammable things like propane, those are going to be things that require a fire certificate. If your whole booth is made out of a pop-up vinyl that's got some metal, and you have a kind of sturdy wooden table, that's not going to necessarily need a mandatory fire certificate because that is a completely safe against fire option. Exhibitor insurance is required. You don't necessarily need to submit it to us, but you can for peace of mind if you want. The other thing, this intent to use an EAC, same thing, that is required if you're going to use an EAC, which is exhibitor appointed contractor. As I kind of mentioned earlier, they would be an outsourced labor team. So if you wanted to use an outsourced labor team, you would need to submit this required form. However, that is not a form that you would need to submit if you're not using one. The only one that I would say is very much that we have that kind of listed as mandatory for everyone is that booth approval form. Other ones are mandatory on certain for certain situations.
Last question. We have 1 minute.
Oh, yeah, the signage. We need to put in a sign that says startup CPG in our booth, and where would that be, and how big is it, just so that I know for the design of the booth.
Yeah, we are finalizing with the designer, but it's gonna be a 9 by 12 inches table sign. So we just need a corner in your table for the sign.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as I have the final design, I'll share in the group with everyone so you guys can look.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, we hit our time. I appreciate New Hope in being here. I think a lot of questions are answered, but if you guys, you have the group, use the group to ask questions and help each other, or the Expo West channel also, because other people have exhibited before. So yeah, definitely use the Slack, but you also have the contact from your New Hope, right? Represent the rep that they can help you with some questions if you have.
If you have logistical questions, I would just reach out to esk@newhope.com. That's going to get to Robert's team. I will say that everyone on their sales team, we know just enough to be dangerous on these logistics, which is why I just let Robert do all the talking and Kari do all the typing. So esk@newhope is your best bet for all logistical questions. They'll be on about a 24-hour turnaround. As we get closer, it could be 48 hours, but just be patient with them and they will answer every question.
Perfect. But yeah, if, use the Slack, email them at the same time, get your answers as fast as possible because Expo is coming and I know it's a lot, but we are here to help you all. But thanks everyone for joining, and New Hope for being here to answering other questions. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Thank you, everyone. See you soon. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.